Hello everyone, I'm going to be showing you today how to build this storage cycle behind me. First of all, I'm going to go through how it works, and then I'm going to break it down piece by piece, show you how it can be customizable, and show you how easy it is to build. Best way to showcase how it works probably is to just show you. So as you can see here, I'm already set onto the oak section, and I want to find my mangrove logs in the system. So if I just throw in the mangrove, we'll see in a few seconds that the cycle will start and we will see the mangrove come down like this. Just give it a second. There we go, and as you can see the system stops on mangrove because that's what I threw in the system, and then your storage would be in here. To use the system again though, however, you're going to have to use a system reset, and I'll show you how that works after, but you could also use system reset as more of a manual way to do it if you have a smaller scale. It stops on whatever you have set as system 0, but if you just flick, you could choose I want jungle, so you could stop it, go again, I want my spruce. You could use this as a manual toggle, or you could use the fully automatic version. Going behind, we can see the system's actually quite small. It's just a bunch of components stuck together, and I'm going to break down these components and show you how the components work individually and how to stick these together, which also means you can customize this to any shape and any size that you want. Like over here, this bit might just look like a mess of redstone, but this is actually just two small components stuck together, and I'll show you how each one of these work, and also I'll show how this bit works down here. To start off with here, we've color coded the cycle in red, so as you can see in here, this is the colors that I'm going to do to show you how this works. So the cycle itself is actually really simple, because if I just grab a button here, we can see that the cycle itself is just piston moving up, piston pulling, and piston pushing. That's it. Like, we'll watch this again. Up, pull, down, across. Up, pull, down, across. That's it. This little extra part onto the cycle, however, is just a clock. So if we unpower this, we can see the clock activates, and this is just a simple clock to make the cycle go on forever. To pretty much show how this works, I've decided to shrink the system and grab one slice of it. So this is what I've got here, and if we just press the button, we can see this go up, pull, push, push, up, pull, push, push. That's all it's doing. These are all based on timings, because to get this kind of loop, we have to have the pistons go off at the correct times. So since this is where it's going to land in the final one, this is where we want our system to start. So we're going to start here, and then once this gets pushed up, we realise the next step for it to be in the loop is to be pulled. So the next system has to go up here, across here, to here. This doesn't have any tick delay apart from these redstone torches, and then the next part after this is here. So we're going to add an extra piece of tick delay here. So this bit activates first, so they don't activate at the same time. Then instead of travelling the system back down, we're just adding like a lengthy timer almost until this one goes off. This timer will definitely vary on how much redstone torches you're going to have when you do expandable parts, and I'll show you how to do that when we get there. When you add more and more slots to your storage system, you're obviously going to want to increase the timing. This can be done by just trial and error, because these go up and it's going to add more and more of a clock. No, it's not going to add more of a clock, it's going to add more and more of a delay. So once you do this, this one is always going to stay 2 ticks up here, and this one here is always going to stay 1 tick. No matter how far up in the sky, you can go up forever, and it still be 1 tick and no ticks. However, for down here, you want to just add more repeaters as it goes. Probably the higher you go up, I'd probably just go like something like this, or just even more. It all just depends on how far or how tall your system, or even how wide your system is, because this doesn't need to be 1x2. It can be, it's not 1x2, whatever this is, it could go up, and it could be, instead of being pulled, it could be pushed another 12, it could be pushed another 12 down, it could be pushed another 12 along. So this could have a maximum of, what, 48 chests? For the counter system itself, this is pretty much how the counter works here. So when we put in our item, it will flow across the hoppers, and then as it flows it's going to get a redstone comparator output, which just goes into a dropper, which fires out one of these iron ingots into here, which goes into here. This will take the comparator power, put it into this repeater, up into this torch, powering it, which starts our clock. Then by adding filters on, we can filter how many of these counters need to go off for how many loops. To set this up, we see I have jungle in the first slot. Jungle is in the first slot because, as you see from our system reset, which I currently set to oak, I'll explain how this works after, you can see one loop, which is one iron nugget, so the first slot needs one loop, which means when this goes up, over, down, across, jungle is going to be our first one. So by that, 2 loops is up, over, down, across, which means it'll be jungle, then it'll be spruce. So if we go down here, we can see spruce is in the second slot, and then birch, so on, until you go back to your system reset. So I have 6 set up here, whereas there's 7 here, because on system reset, it's always going to go back to oak, so there's no need to have the one in for your system reset. So there's always one less number of filters of how many filters you have. I have now just realised the reset line is meant to be in blue and not the counter. There we go. So now if we look at this, we can see we throw in our birch log. It's going to go across the system. You see these firing. Oh, we done it. We looked too late, but we can see it will go round and round until we get to birch. I forgot to add the reset line. I forgot to add that whole thing broke because I forgot to add when your loop goes round, you need to remove one of your counter items from the dropper, which this should hopefully do. So now by just adding our redstone line back, we'll see it stops on mangrove because I forgot and I messed up. If we throw in our birch log, we'll see it needs 1, 2, 3 cycles to go round. So by throwing this in, we can see 1, 2, 3 and it stops. We've now got 3 items in here. So 1, 2, 3. Now for the easiest part of all, the reset line. There we go. After a long time, we've got this little system here. All this is going to do is when you turn on system reset, once it's done, it's going to stop on your default slot, which I currently have set to oak, which you can change to any one of these by just moving where the composter is in the line. How this works is that once it reaches its default slot, it reads it, it sends a pulse, and it locks. That's it. The actual system to turn on the clock is this. That's all you need. A lever anywhere in the world. And done, pretty much done. Once you flick this lever, you see what you turn on. You're going to unpower this, which is just going to start your clock, and it's going to start your cycle forever until this gets its composter in front of it, which this reads, this sends this pulse, and this locks. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's my first video. It's very, very dumb, very badly edited. I'm still learning how everything works. I'm definitely going to make more and more content as the new realm is starting soon, and I want to learn how to make better videos on. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about redstone. Hopefully you know how to build this now. Any questions, ask me. Thank you. Cut that thank you bit out, please. Also, I'm sorry that the video was so badly edited. I tried. If there's any strange audio or if there's any random cuts in the video,